It's a great energy present, really ripping. That Shakti is here, that very potent communication of fire, energy, intensity, fullness. May you be activated by that. May you be activated in that. Where that is, the Absolute is also. Can't be far. If Shakti starts dancing, she's got to be dancing on something. She's dancing on that being, absolute being. She dances so that you'll notice both. If you come into this enough times, just open and flower, you could say, you become it. That's it. There'll be some kind of permanent depth that never goes once you open up so many times. Just through nature, it creates a kind of groove in your being. A deep, deep valley is cut. Where once there was only solid mass, it cuts down into the whole structure of your being, this silence or this witnessing or this abiding in emptiness, whatever you want to call it, or the power of the Shakti. It begins to open and excavate and make a big opening there that never goes. It's something you won't really notice because it's not an accumulation. It's a removal of stuff. It's removing too much of something that's there, too much mental activity or too much sensation of a personal ego, whatever that is. It manages to go in, the energy or the light or the silence, and open that up. So that a permanent opening can simply be there. It's really so much like a lack, like an emptiness, that you would not dare call it a realization of anything. It's so subtle and quiet. You may not even use the word realization. Realization implies what? Realizing. How many times can you realize? And what is realization? Entering into what is says it much more beautifully. Because where were you before what is? There's nowhere you could have been. So it sets the platform for a more seamless understanding. It sets the tone for a more seamless understanding of what this thing called realization, awakening, self-realization, self-transcendence, abiding in reality, whatever you want to call it, living in God, what that is. So it's not a special, characteristically distinct state. It most certainly is not.
David, I was noticing that it feels like being in your presence has this innate effulgence, and it's like igniting this self-existing effulgence in each one of us that maybe is just covered with accretions or mental obstructions most of the time. Is that,
You could express it that way. From the viewpoint of energy and Shakti, that's what it is.
just feels like each one of us could be the axis mundi if
You are.
we were open.
Axis mundi indeed. The axis of the world, that upon which the world turns. The source of the world. The attention that transcends the world is that upon which the world is turning. You are that. Better than any talk I can give is this spreading effulgence. I can't talk about that. That's something that happens outside of the linear mind, the discursive mind. You might feel bliss. You might feel bliss, the effulgence of bliss, of no knowing, of full knowing. You can also call it full knowing. Why just settle for no knowing? It may be that that's the only thing that you can know fully.